You know, I was really disappointed in my body. I felt like it failed me, it failed my baby, it didn't do what it was supposed to do. So, do you have some disappointments from your pregnancy? Are you feeling cheated out of your experience? Yes, that was me. And I know that most of us keep all of those disappointments inside of our head because we don't know how to handle them. So yes, I'm gonna be the one that talks about it today because they need to be exposed, and I wanna help give some advice on how to overcome and handle these disappointments. Now you might be thinking, why are you qualified to talk about this, Sabrina? Well, I went through a pretty traumatic pregnancy and birth experience, and I had a lot of unmet expectations and I had some disappointments along the way. I actually had my water break at 17 weeks pregnant. I was told by the doctors that my son wouldn't survive. I ended up on hospital bed rest for 7 weeks of my pregnancy until I delivered my son early at 30 weeks and 2 days via emergency C-section. And then my son survived, thankfully. I'm so thankful for that. But he ended up being a NICU baby, and he was in the NICU for 97 days. And then I ended up bringing home a preemie baby. Now, needless to say, I had a lot of disappointments through that whole experience. Like some of you ladies that are watching this, you've went through similar circumstances and you have a lot of disappointments. And what are some of those disappointments and things that we didn't get to experience? Well, I didn't get to have a full-term pregnancy. I didn't get to have a vaginal birth or home birth like I planned. I didn't get to show off my baby belly because I was on hospital bed rest. I didn't get to throw a shower for my son before he was born. I didn't get to decorate a nursery. I didn't get to hold my son after he was born. I didn't get to take my son home after I had him. I had to wait 97 days before I brought him home. I had to fight every single day for my pregnancy and for my baby to make sure that he lived. And all of these things built up on the inside of me and became disappointments. And so I know exactly how you ladies are feeling. First off, I want to shut that voice up that says that we are being whiners or we're being complainers or it's just ridiculous that we're even having disappointments. Everybody has them. It's a part of life. So it's not bad that we have had these thoughts or we've had disappointments. You know, when you go through a rough pregnancy, people tell you, you should just be grateful that your kid's alive. Yes, that's true. We're extremely grateful. But it doesn't mean that all of a sudden, all of the expectations and the dreams that we've had for our pregnancy and for our birth just magically erase because our baby's here and they're alive. Okay, so what helped me with these disappointments? First off, allowing myself to grieve the pregnancy. I know, it seemed absurd to me. I was like, why should I grieve something that I didn't lose? When I saw other moms lose their babies, I didn't feel right about grieving about something like that. But really, we cannot minimize the trauma that we went through. We can't minimize it. We have to allow ourselves to grieve. And that may look differently for you than it did for me. For me, it meant that I had to give myself a place of reflectiveness, that I had to reflect on all those disappointments and walk myself through that journey. And even cry a bunch and cry until I had no more tears left. So find that place of grieving and allow yourself to do it. Secondly, I had to allow myself the time and the space to heal. Yes, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. And maybe it's been a year or two since you've had your baby and you still find yourself having these disappointments. Well, that's not unreasonable. How much time and effort does it take to raise a baby, and then you get into toddlerhood and it still takes so much out of you. You don't even have time to heal. So if you're experiencing these disappointments 2 and 3 years later, don't be difficult. Don't be hard on yourself. Just allow yourself the time and allow yourself the space to do so. And don't be ashamed if you need to find someone to talk to. Don't be ashamed if you need to see a counselor. I thought I was the only one that was dealing with these thoughts and these experiences and these disappointments, but really the more I revealed and exposed my disappointments to other women who walk through the same thing as me or as similar situations as me, I found out that they were having the exact same disappointments. And so connecting with other women and with a community of women who have walked that similar path as you really helped me in my healing process and helped me overcome, because we were there to talk through things together and encourage each other along the way. You know, I was really disappointed in my body. I felt like it failed me, it failed my baby, it didn't do what it was supposed to do. But I had to come to the realization that it wasn't in my control. I did everything I knew in my power to take care of my body so I could have a good pregnancy and have a good birth. And it just didn't work out for me. And that wasn't in my control. Did I want to have a preemie baby? Did I want to have a NICU baby? No. Did any of the things that happened to you want them to happen? No. So we have to stop beating ourselves up and come to the realization that none of it was in our control, and we have to give ourselves compassion and let those go. Let those guilty feelings go. What really helped me, and I know you don't want to hear it because I had other moms tell me the same thing, and it just comes from a different place when it's coming from a mom who's walked through the same situation as you. Thanksgiving is really a medicine to your disappointments. And I know it's easier said than done to look at your child and think, I didn't get to experience all these other things, but why don't we choose to marvel on the blessings and the miraculous things that did happen, and choose to look at our child every single day and choose to look at our lives and say, wow, look at all my blessings. Because we can choose to walk out this life in bitterness and being resentful and unhappy and sad, or we can choose to find joy in those things in our lives that are blessing us. Because there are too many things in our lives that we can look at that bring us joy to continue to dwell on all the disappointments and all the what ifs and all the unmet expectations. And one of the biggest things that helped me throughout my healing journey and overcoming all these disappointments is finding purpose in my disappointments, finding purpose in my pain. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you need to find something good out of the situation, or even if you can't find something good, try to turn the situation into something good. A few of the things that I have done to find purpose in my pain is connecting with women who are currently going through what I did go through, and talking to them about my experience and bringing them hope and talking them through what they're going through, and speaking life into them and letting them know that they're not alone. And another thing that you can do is you can do a fundraiser and raise money and deliver bags and goodies to the hospital that you were at or that your baby was at. I was able to do that this last year, and it brought so much healing for me. And I was even able to meet with other NICU moms and walk them through what my husband and I and our son went through, and it really helped in our journey. And something that's really helped my thought process in walking through these disappointments is knowing that I have a chance to do it all over. This pregnancy happened to be my first one, and I do plan on having more kids. And so finding hope in new dreams and new visions of having another pregnancy, and knowing that it can all go right. Another thing that really helped me in overcoming these disappointments is creating new dreams and looking forward to my future with hope and anticipation, and not continuing to dwell on everything that didn't happen for me, but now looking to my future and seeing that I can have new dreams, a new future, and that those dreams can come to pass even if these ones didn't. Ladies, I hope that this helped you. I hope that you can walk through this journey and heal, and that some of this advice can help you. I want to say that you are strong women, you are powerful, and that you can get through this. You're not alone. Stop dwelling on the past, look forward to your future, and I'll see you next time.